Part 2 of the December 12th edition of Full Court Press Basketball Debate starts with the Nets announcing the trade of Andrei Kirilenko to Philadelphia. And we're going to talk more about the Nets, how they're putting up so many people up for trade and everything. And the question has been asked, who does this trade benefit more, Brooklyn or Philadelphia? Look,
I have nothing to say about this because I don't know how it's going to affect either team.
it's very simple.
So I'm going to have to fall back on you for this one.
Pretty
Isn't it a little late in the season to be trading people and getting rid of the?
It's early.
What's the cutoff date for them to get rid of people?
The trade deadline is right after the All-Star break in February.
They can go up until February.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's a rule that should be changed. I really do.
Who's it going to benefit more? It benefits both teams. Let's start with the fact that Philadelphia just needs guys. They need guys to produce. Kirilenko will. He's not the scorer that he once was. He's a good defender. I mean, he's another guy that Philadelphia can use.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this guy, does he have anything to say about this?
I have no idea.
Well, how does it work? What if he doesn't want to go to Philadelphia? Okay, so he has no say-so about this. It's not like he went to them and said, I want to leave and I want to go to Philadelphia.
Oh, he could have said, I want to trade, but he can't pick the team that he goes to.
Okay, because I can't see anybody asking to go to Philadelphia. If somebody wanted to trade up, that would be one thing.
And it benefits Brooklyn because we don't even hear from this guy, and he's got a $13 million contract. So that's $13 million that you can go out and get somebody with.
What position does he play?
Small forward, the 3.
Who takes his place?
That's a great question considering what Brooklyn's trying to do right now.
Which is?
Putting Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, and Brook Lopez on the trading block.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about later in the...
Is there anybody bench-wise that can step into and take his... No? So Brooklyn's in trouble.
Brooklyn is in trouble, especially if they lose Johnson, Garnett, Johnson, Lopez, and Williams.
I don't understand the thought process.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Kevin Durant, quote, not worried about re-injuring his foot. Yvonne Juno, should he be worried? Why or why not?
I don't understand. Why did this even come up?
They were interviewing him, and they obviously asked him, how's the foot? And it escalated, and he said, I'm not worried about re-injuring it.
Well, of course that's what he said. That's what a professional athlete should say.
The question to you is, should he be worried? Why or why not?
Not if he feels... nobody knows that but him. He knows if he's prepared to be out there on the floor and be worried about re-injuring his foot. He knows if he's ready to be running up and down that court on that foot for the whole game or most of the game. I think they should all be worried about hurting themselves, the way they bang their knees, the way they fall on their knees. Look what happened to Anthony Davis in the Pelicans game when I thought, oh, my heart actually jumped when he fell on his knee on that hardwood floor. I mean, really. And the way he grabbed his knee, they should all be injured about hurting themselves. I have always said, it's too many games, too close together, too much out of town. I mean, this is something that was debated before the season even started. Okay? Not only by us, but by the owners, by the NBA, etc., etc. They should all be worried about getting hurt. But the fact that somebody asked him, are you worried about hurting your foot again? He did the right thing. He did the professional thing. He said, so that he didn't strike fear in the hearts of all of the fans and all of the people who want to support the OKC team. He said, no, I'm not worried about hurting my foot. I mean, what do you want the guy to do, jinx himself? Would it have been better for him to say, oh yeah, I'm being real careful, because that would have looked like he was finding a way to get out of playing 100%. Do I think there's a possibility that he could hurt himself again? Yeah, but I think there's a possibility anybody can hurt themselves. I think he answered it in the only way that he could answer it and still look like he was on top of things and he knew his own body.
Let's start with the fact that worried is a very strong word.
Uh-huh.
If you go out on the court worried about injuring yourself,
You're gonna get hurt.
you're gonna get hurt.
You're gonna get hurt.
There should be a little voice in the back of your head saying, oh, don't take this risk. That's risky. Should it be going through your head the whole game? No, because not every step you take is a
you
risk.
can't play the game. You got to concentrate on your.
But when a
play.
ball's going out of bounds, you have to make a choice. Do I dive for that and risk getting hurt? Or do I just let it go?
Right.
Save it for a rainy day? No. He shouldn't be worried. He shouldn't be worried. Why should he be worried? It's like you said. He knows that he's ready. He knows that he is 100% capable, and he looks it, by the way, and is playing like it. Okay? He's fine. He's fine. It's the same thing I said about Kobe when he came back. The man is fine. He's gonna play like he knows how to play. The only way he knows how to play.
And we have seen too many times, and we have witnessed too many times, that when they don't listen to that little voice in the back of their head, they re-injure themselves and they end up being out for twice as long as they were to begin with.
Yep.
So if you're a professional athlete and you don't listen to that little voice, you don't listen to your body, you don't pay attention to your aches and pains and injuries, then you don't have anybody to blame but yourself if you get hurt again.
Westbrook and Durant are back. How far can this team go?
Oh, they can go far. Oh, they can go far. They can go very far. Yeah. I think they would be way up there as far as being in the caliber in their division now if they had not. Oh, one was bad enough. But with both of them out, they would not be in the position they're in now if both of them had not been out. What do you think?
Well, they got lucky. They got lucky in the fact that Westbrook and Durant came back within 2 weeks of each other.
Very simultaneously.
And they went out a week and a half within the same, okay? A week and a half of each other, okay? Look, this team could be a top 4 seed.
Absolutely.
Okay? This is the same Oklahoma City team. Minus a few pieces, Thabo Sefolosha, Derek Fisher, who's now coaching New York, who we'll talk about next. Look, this is still Kevin Durant's team. This is still Russell Westbrook. This is still Scott Brooks, Serge Ibaka. This is still the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're 8-13. They're 8-13. Calm down.
Right.
They will get there, and they will get there quickly.
Right.
They could end up as a top 4 seed. Will that happen? I doubt it.
Only time will tell.
I doubt it because look at the West.
Right.
Again, same thing with Houston.
A lot of people would have to fall off the board.
Houston is 17-5 and is 4th in the West. 17-5 and you're 4th in the West. Hello. I mean, San Antonio is 16-6. 16-6 and they're 6th in the West. I mean, come on. Come on. It's tough to climb that mountain when you're 8-13.
Right.
We'll see.
The only time will tell.
Dennis Rodman blasts Derek Fisher and Carmelo Anthony in a rant about the triangle offense. In a nutshell, the quote that sticks out reads, and I've memorized it, says, in 95, we learned this offense in 10 minutes. Quote, it's a triangle. End quote. Yvonne Juno, does he have a point? Why or why not?
I didn't know about this.
Uh-oh. I knew you were going to have a lot to say about this.
No, I don't have a lot to say about this. I have two things to say about this. Yeah, he might have a point, but who cares?
A lot of people care.
Well, why? Who cares what Dennis Rodman thinks?
A lot of people care.
Why?
Because he's right. He's right.
Okay, but really, who asked? Who cares? And why doesn't he keep his mouth shut? He's not playing anymore.
That part I agree with.
And
that part I agree with. But if you're
why?
asked, you're going to give an answer.
Okay.
And this is a Dennis Rodman answer.
Out of courtesy and professionalism.
Okay, but wait.
Back to
Before
the NBA.
Before you blame Dennis Rodman, why don't you blame the reporter that chose to ask Dennis Rodman of all people? You know how many people have run the triangle offense? They could have asked Michael Jordan.
I agree.
Michael Jordan was on that team.
I agree with that, but I don't know the reporter that did it.
So how can we say, oh, Dennis Rodman should have kept his mouth shut when somebody asked him?
It's none of his business.
Then why?
It has nothing to do with him. He should have kept his mouth shut and keep his opinion to himself.
You and I are going to differ on this one because I think he's 100% correct.
Wait. The way he handled it and what he said was rude and uncalled for. However, did he speak the truth? Yeah, he did. I agree with the fact that he said they learned it as quickly as they did. I don't agree with the way that he phrased it.
I agree with everything about this. Simply because everybody's missing the boat on the Knicks right now. The Knicks are 4-20. Everybody's saying, oh, we need to get away from the triangle offense.
No.
There's a controversy. We need to get away from the triangle offense. Derek Fisher keeps pushing the triangle offense. That's why it's not working.
No, Derek knows it can work.
And then Derek Fisher is saying, but no, this does work.
Right.
And I know how to teach it. And then people are saying, obviously you don't because the Knicks are 4-20. Both sides are correct. Both sides are correct. But that's not the problem. The Knicks need a damn wake-up call. You're 4-20. Your season is almost shot. Okay? Already. And we're a fourth of the way through.
Right.
This is a wake-up call.
Okay. Let me go back to the original question you asked me, if you're through with your thought process for a moment. Okay? Let me get back to your original question. If they had asked Derek Fisher this, and Derek Fisher had said, we did this and we learned it in 10 minutes when I was a player, it would not have been the same as Dennis Rodman saying it. That's my point. You don't go outside of someone who's either an owner, a coach, the front office, or somebody to ask a has-been or ask somebody that's not part. Oh, come on. And one of the most controversial people you're ever going to meet, you don't go ask Dennis Rodman this.
So blame the reporter.
Dennis Rodman still doesn't have enough sense to know when to keep his mouth shut.
He was asked the question. He's going to answer it.
It's not what he said, it's the way he said it in his terminology.
He's right.
Paul Pierce wouldn't have answered it this way.
Paul Pierce never ran the triangle offense.
Okay. Michael Jordan would not have answered.
Oh, yeah, he would have. It's
like
a
that?
triangle. How complicated is it?
He would have said it like that.
Yes! Yes, I promise. And why? Because it's really not that hard if you teach it correctly. It's really not that hard to grasp.
So it's Derek Fisher's fault for not
yes!
teaching it correctly. You're blaming Derek.
Yes! Okay, and they're obviously not grasping it. So stop!
That part I agree. 100%.
Why are you pushing
If
it?
it's not working and they're not getting it, go back to what you know
Stop!
that you know will work.
Derek Fisher.
That part I agree.
Let's start with the root. Derek Fisher never ran this offense. Derek Fisher never played in a triangle offense. Never. Not once. When Derek Fisher was winning rings with Shaq and Kobe and Robert Horry and those boys, they didn't run a triangle offense. Come on. Why are you trying to teach an offense that you have not the first clue about?
Well, the proof's in the pudding. If it's not working and you're still losing,
Stop!
then stop.
Why are you pushing it?
That's like continuously going out on the floor and throwing the ball to somebody who's always going to drop it, fumble it, or give it away.
That's dumb. That's dumb coaching. It's dumb coaching.
I still don't think Dennis Rodman should have been the person, the go-to person to ask this question.
That I agree with. So blame the reporter.
Okay.
But he is right. Because he won rings running this offense. He won rings playing in this offense.
It's still offensive.
So is a 4-20 record in the state of New York. I'm a Knicks fan, and I'm insulted by a record of 4-20. Okay?
Yeah.
Magic Johnson, quote, "I hope the Lakers lose every game." Yvonne Juno, your take.
Why did he say that? What was being discussed?
Obviously,
what
the Lakers
prompted
were
this?
being discussed, and their record came up, and he said,
Why would he say something like that,
"There's
though?
only one reason that you would say something like that." And we've discussed it before on the show. It's called tanking. Purposefully losing to get the number 1 draft pick. Apparently, everybody's buying into that.
So he is encouraging them doing this
Pretty much.
by saying that
Pretty much.
so that
They can get the number 1 pick. Your take.
do you see Magic Johnson doing that? Do you see him as the type of person that would encourage something like that?
How
I mean,
do
we're not even a fourth into the season.
How do I see Magic Johnson? I don't see Magic Johnson in the same light as these other people, simply because of the fact that I'm not blind. Magic Johnson is arguably the greatest Laker ever. Arguably, not in my opinion, but arguably. Okay? He was a fantastic point guard. He was the only person to date that I know that could play all 5 positions and do it well. Okay? But above all else, he's a businessman. That's the light I look at him in. Okay? Because he only played an 11-year career. So I don't look at him and say, "Oh my God, that's a Hall of Famer." Even though he is. He's a businessman. He's a businessman. He owns the Dodgers of baseball in Los Angeles. He's a part owner of the Lakers. Okay? He's a businessman.
He's part owner of the Lakers and he made this kind of statement. Well, if he's part owner, then he has a right to make this statement.
He does have a right to make this statement. That doesn't mean I agree with it.
No.
Because tanking doesn't solve anything, because tanking doesn't work! Your name gets thrown into a lottery. It doesn't mean you're going to get drawn out of the lottery with the first pick, now does it?
No.
4 out of the past 5 years,
No.
it hasn't worked.
No. That also means that you're sloughing off and losing on purpose.
And what about Kobe?
And right. You're going to bring him down,
Really?
flush him down the toilet.
He's got 2 years left.
just to prove a point. Right.
Come on.
Right.
Get a hold of yourself.
Okay.
The Brooklyn Nets are letting teams know that Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, and Brook Lopez are available. Why are the Nets doing this, Yvonne?
Do I look like I would know? I did not know about this. And my question to you is, what happened? What made this come about? Why would they do this? What do they hope to accomplish? What is the point? They're getting rid of their 3 top players.
Okay, but 2 out of these 3 guys I can make an excuse for.
An excuse? You mean a justification?
Brook Lopez, he's always injured. He's taking up space. He's the Eric Gordon of the Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, that was harsh, but it's the truth.
That's not true. Eric Gordon was not hurt all the time.
Eric Gordon has been continuously hurt every year. Eric Gordon has not played a full 82 game
season. You really
season.
want to go there with me about injuries?
Eric Gordon has not played a full 82 game season since his rookie season in 2008. What does that tell you? Yet we owe him $38 million.
Go there with me about Derrick Rose.
Okay. Brook Lopez, he's always hurt. I'd trade him too.
But last year for the Pelicans, how many we had 4 starters on the bench.
Okay, but that was their first season of starting. Brook Lopez has been the starting center for the Nets since he's been a rookie. And this has been happening since he was a rookie. I'd trade him too. Because he's really not that great. Okay? In my opinion. Darren Williams. Same thing. He has really, really fallen off the map. You used to mention Chris Paul and Darren Williams in the same sentence for best point guard in the league. Who? Darren who?
Right.
But Joe Johnson?
I don't get it.
The man that saved you in the playoffs last year on 4 separate occasions?
And these 3 guys have no say-so about this.
No. No.
Let me ask you a question. So how in the world do you think these 3 guys are going to play for them now? Would you care?
I would not, personally.
Joe Johnson has not done anything to
Joe
earn
Johnson, really?
being gotten rid. They don't have anybody left.
Well, that's them. Now, I've been doing this with candidates for these 3 players in my head. Potential teams that they might go to.
Better than who these 3 guys are going to go to. Who are these? Who's going to replace?
I think
these 3
what
guys?
they might do is, I think what Brooklyn's doing is they're looking for a blockbuster trade. They're looking to do a 3-for-1 deal. They're looking to trade these 3
But
guys
the big-
for a superstar.
Okay, but you got 3 spots to fill. You can't do it with 1 guy.
And then they're going to pick up 2 extra guys with the money that they have left over from these guys.
Because the bench has nobody that can take the place. Do we? Do they?
Not really.
Who are you going to get to take Joe Johnson's place? That's already there.
Well, that's already there. Nobody. But you can go pick up somebody
Who's
with the money that
available?
you have. That's their job to find out. They might be going for a 2 guard. Or they might be going for a 3. Or they might be going...
With Brooklyn's team right now, would you leave your team to go and play for Brooklyn?
If it meant that I was the star. Because Brooklyn's 8-13. They're not far off track. Okay? If it meant
Okay.
that I was the star, yeah, I could play for Brooklyn. It's a big market. I know I'm going to get money. It's in New York. Yeah, I would. Big fan base.
Who are some potential candidates that you can think of that would go? Like to take
Brooklyn?
To Brooklyn, like to take Joe Johnson's place.
Okay, but if we're talking about 2 guards.
That you would consider superstar status.
Superstar 2 guards. Kobe,
Kobe's not going to leave.
Wade,
He's not going to leave.
Harden.
I don't see that.
No. I don't think they're aiming for a 2 guard. I don't think they're aiming for a 2 guard.
Okay, so what do you think they're aiming for?
I think they're aiming for either a 3 or a 4.
Of superstar status.
Yeah.
Can you think of anybody that would be
I can
willing
think of one.
to go to Brooklyn?
Very simple, but I think they're trying to do this, but it's not going to work. I think they want Carmelo. They were targeting him in the offseason. He wouldn't be moving far. It's in the same damn state. But Carmelo came out today and said, I'm not leaving the Knicks. I'm loyal to the Knicks. He himself came out and said that. I'm loyal to the Knicks. I have no plans on leaving. I just signed a new contract. I have no plans on leaving. So if that's their plan, nah.
He just shot that.
Right. Now, potential teams for these guys to go to.
Well, anybody with any sense would want Joe Johnson if they need somebody strong in that position. Are you thinking of the Pelicans?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Because our 2 guard is injured.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon.
Yeah, I know.
Taking up money.
Yeah. Do we have the money to pay Joe Johnson?
That I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know. This is something that time will tell.
Wow. They're going to leave themselves with nothing.
That's all them. That's all them.
Okay?
Lakers GM Mitch Kupchak sees Kobe retiring after next season. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised he's playing this season. I mean, I was very surprised, especially after the injury. But you were right. You were right. I give you 100% credit. You were right. Kobe's not the type that would want to retire because of an injury. He had something to come back and prove. It's just unfortunate that the team is not doing better than they're doing. But he is at least coming back and proving that he is not going to go out because of an injury. But you have to ask yourself, would it have been better for him to retire with a good season and an injury? Or is it going to be better for him to retire after this season if they keep doing what they're doing now? Which one is more embarrassing?
No, this season. This
Right.
season is better.
Oh,
Because ultimately, a player is not remembered for a team's legacy. A player is remembered for their personal legacy.
okay.
And what Kobe Bryant is doing this season should warrant MVP voting. With this team and the numbers he's putting up under Anthony Davis, I mean, it's 4 guys. Anthony Davis, Stephen Curry, and in no particular order, Stephen Curry, James Harden, and Kobe Bryant. Those 4 guys have been lights out all season long.
I just don't understand what's going on with the rest of the team.
And look, it hurts to talk about this because I don't want to talk about Kobe retiring because he's my favorite. But, I mean, look, it's 20 years. It's 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's 31 points away from passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list.
I think right now he is playing with sheer determination.
As he does.
No, more so than usual.
Well, he's Kobe. What can you say?
Right.
Phil Jackson, quote, the 4 and now 20 Knicks have a, quote, loser's mentality. Yvonne, your thoughts, and how do the Knicks fix their problems?
I have no idea how the Knicks fix their problems. I have no idea. But shame on Phil for saying something like that. I know I'm emotional. You don't have to say it. And even though it may be very well true that they have a loser's mentality, shame on him as being the owner for saying it.
Okay.
Isn't he supposed to be the voice of uplifting, and isn't he supposed to be boosting them up
Sure.
and talking good about them and making them, let's do this, and being their cheerleader and all
But
that?
let me ask you something.
Really?
Let me ask you something. What good is there to talk about?
Okay. I see where you're going with that.
Sometimes a confidence
You
booster,
don't kick a dog when he's down.
sometimes it helps.
But no.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. When the Lakers were what, 2-10? 2-12? Oh, Kobe can't come back. Kobe's this, Kobe's that. The Lakers are this, the Lakers that. And look at them. Yeah, they're still 6-13, but they're not 2-10. Yeah, kicking a dog when he's down in professional sports.
No, I totally disagree with that. No matter what we're talking about.
Look at Cleveland. Look at Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland was hyped up to be this Michael Jordan Bulls-esque type of team that's gonna win 8 rings, and they suck, and yada yada yada, and they've won 8 out of 9 games. Sometimes you got to get down to their level.
And as far as part B, I don't know.
Get away from the damn triangle. It's enough. It's enough. I guarantee
Let me ask you a question. How do you think Melo feels about these kind of comments?
there's a mixed reaction.
How would you feel?
How would I personally feel? I'd want to improve.
The man can't play every position out on the floor.
It's not the Knicks. It's coaching. It's coaching. Stop pushing the damn triangle. It's enough with it. It's enough.
Fine?
It's obviously not working.
No,
Get away from it.
I give you that 100%. It is absolutely not working. How far is it going to have to go before they realize
Well, right.
it's not working
Right.
and stop it and do something about it?
I mean, you're 4-20. How much more do you want?
But who makes that call?
Derek Fisher.
But Phil's in charge. Phil's the owner.
Phil Jackson's the president.
Okay, shouldn't Phil be telling Derek it's enough?
Sure. Does that mean Fisher's going to listen when it comes to game time? No.
Doesn't he have to?
No. He's the coach. He's the coach.
Okay.
DeMarcus Cousins right now is hospitalized. He's battling viral meningitis. Your thoughts?
Wow. I had no idea. I hope he didn't give it to anybody else on the team. And my thoughts and prayers go out to him because that
Absolutely.
can kill you.
Absolutely.
Where did he get it from? Does anybody have any idea? I hope it didn't travel to his spine.
Right.
That would really be something for DeMarcus Cousins to be paralyzed. Spinal meningitis can paralyze you.
It's tough. It's tough.
They give any kind of estimate as to whether or not they caught it in time, how long he's going to be out, anything, how serious it is. Did they catch it at the beginning? You don't know anything. Not really. Okay.
All we know is it's viral meningitis.
Okay.
Carmelo, quote, "The Bulls were a perfect fit in free agency."
What does he mean?
That's what I'm asking you. You know, when he was a free agent, teams were targeting him. It was between Chicago and the Knicks. He came out yesterday and said that Chicago was a perfect fit. So, Yvonne, why didn't he go?
I don't know. I was getting ready to ask you, why didn't he go if he felt like they were a perfect fit?
It's very simple. It's what I said from the very beginning when everybody was telling me he's going to Chicago. He's going to
Competing with
Chicago.
Derrick Rose on the floor?
No. Derrick Rose has nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
He's got a legacy in New York.
Okay. He wanted to make things happen in New
He's
York.
got a legacy.
Okay.
62
That's where he
points.
wants to be. That's where, right.
He's made a living in New York. He lives in New York. He's got a family in New York.
Okay.
It's where his heart lies. This is the LeBron James, Ohio type deal.
You think he's sorry now? Okay, maybe career-wise he's sorry.
Maybe winning wise, yeah.
Career-wise.
But as a life-changing decision,
Right.
no, I don't think he's sorry at all. Because he knows that eventually the triangle's going to have to go. And they're going to start winning games.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe number 13.
All right,
We could
speaking
talk
of
for
number 13,
days.
we're going to start part 3. Part 3 coming at you right now.